I believe are good to go. Unless anybody has any questions or concerns.
Just that I'm listed in the vacancy, terms of, I'm listed as a Democrat. And will only have her happen under the most extreme conditions of torture. I am still a Republican. I don't know how that happened.
I just lost you, Peter. What'd you just say?
I said, I'm listed, I just got the list of terms that are up, and I'm listed as a Democrat on the commission.
Okay,
Just want to that I am a Republican and in fact, I would become a Democrat under the most extreme conditions of torture.
okay. Well, we will get that corrected for you.
Okay.
Okay. I know the elections are coming up in
Yes, I do.
September, so we'll
Yes.
make sure that gets corrected.
Yes,
Okay, but at the moment, we are talking about Kent Scoop, so I just want to make sure we get this all approved for Devin, who is on the call right now too. How are you? So I think we're good.
Thanks.
I think you're all good. You just need to, I guess, comply with the last little, the Kathy wish list, which seems pretty, which seems for a change seems pretty painless. And lots of luck.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome. And
Alyssa, you still need a motion.
okay, so may I get a motion to approve the application for Kent Scoop as is?
So moved.
Second. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good to go. Good
All
luck.
right.
Wish you
Thanks.
luck. Okay. Thank you. The next one on the list is Firefly at 88 North Main Street. And they still haven't, they're still waiting. I spoke with Tom Caldwell, who's the project manager up there, and they are still waiting to get the equipment in to hook up their septage line and grease trap according to our regulations and stuff. So he's hoping that that happens, I think by the end of July, if I'm not mistaken. And he should be able to get, we should be able to hopefully sign off on them next month. Hopefully all that equipment will be in. Kathy?
But in the meantime, they're open for business. No,
Yeah,
So-
they're open. We sort of gave him, we waived a permit for him just so, because he had rented it out for graduation.
Yep.
And but anyway, so he knows they need to comply with that. And now they're also putting in a grease trap for Firefly, not for the Victorian house. So
Okay.
once that gets all done, then they will send us the information so we can get their application finalized and approved.
Okay. great. Thank you.
Sewer plant roof. I'm gonna let Lyle talk about that because he's been dealing with the guy directly.
Okay, we had the pre-bid meeting where we had a contractor show up and a couple of the other ones worked by phone. I spoke with Steve Botello this morning, and the cheapest quote we have so far is just, this is just for labor, was $300,000.
It doesn't even include the roof?
Doesn't even include the material.
Wow.
So
You said 800?
300,000.
Oh, 300. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah,
Might as
300,000.
well said 800.
Yeah, yeah.
That's,
I believe that's quite steep. I'm having them rebid it or just overlaying aluminum over our current roof. So we're kind of jury still out on what's happening now.
okay.
That 300,000 in labor, that would be to remove the old, remove the old roof, remove the insulation, paint the tops of the purlings, put the same type of insulation back in, and put the roof over it. But like I said, that's not even including the material. So
Did he
figure you have-
indicate what the material was gonna cost?
he said another $50,000 to $100,000.
Wow. That is crazy.
I just can't see that.
No, well, we don't have that kind of money for it either,
No.
so.
the square footage of the building.
I'm sorry.
I
The square
actually
footage
don't,
of-
actually, I don't have that in front of me. What's that, 50 by 90 probably, Rick?
How wide are your doors, Lyle? You got 3 doors, 4 doors, so
4 doors.
12 feet, so you're probably only 60 by 50 by 60, maybe?
3,500 square feet. I mean,
3,000
it sounds
square
like an
feet.
enormous amount of money.
Yes, I honestly didn't know what to say when he popped that figure. I was like,
Think about it. I mean,
yeah, right,
You could have laughed at him.
you know? You can put up a different building for that amount.
Mhm.
All right, well, is he looking, is he gonna give us a quote on?
Just overlaying the roof,
He's gonna give us a quote on that?
yes.
Okay. Is there anybody else who we can call to give us an estimate or look into another guy?
This guy is actually, you know, would be GCing the job. He's talking that contractors to get quotes, you know, trying to find people that want to take the job on.
Wow. I just find that amazing that for $300,000, you can't find someone to do that for less money. I mean, that's just,
Yeah,
it's insane.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be getting somebody to look at the garage roof and put that out to bid, so maybe if we do them both at the same time, we'll get better pricing.
Yeah, I was gonna, is Kent Center School roof like in the works? Because like Rick had said, sometimes what we'll do is try and lump as many projects into one as possible to get, you know, better pricing.
Is Kent Center School putting a new roof on, Ricky?
I know
Yes.
they talk about it every year, but I think this is the year they're finally gonna do it. So maybe that contractor, you guys we could throw it out to them. Like Rick said, if he needs a roof too, kind of the more the merrier. Sometimes you'll get a better square foot price. Not always, but sometimes.
They
Vinny,
moved a
who
lot
did
of
the
money around in the capital plan, said they could do it, but I don't think it was gonna be this summer, It's probably gonna be next year, but it's gotta go, Durst has to go through all the regional stuff and everything.
Vinny, who did the roofs up at High Watch?
We use a few people. I mean, we use Bruce Morrissey, which is a company out of New York State. But same thing, we kind of did it with, you know, we did a lot of different style roofs. It was like 2 or 3. Commercial roofing contractors, I'm not familiar with too many of them.
Okay.
But except for $300,000 for a 50 by 90, it does this, that sounds steep. It sounds like they're definitely adding a lot of fluff into that. But I haven't seen it, but it's
I
pretty
mean,
steep.
that's what it would seem like to all of us, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if there's somebody over on the New York side. Where, is this guy Connecticut, Lyle?
Connecticut, yes.
I'm just curious if there's somebody over on the New York side that might be less money. You know, Dover or, that Pine Plains, that
I
whole
can
neck
look-
of woods isn't that far away from us over here.
Yeah, I'll look into that tomorrow. Can I get that Bruce Morrissey's phone number when I get a chance, Vinny?
Sure. Yeah, I can,
Thank you.
I'll text
Thank you.
Melissa. He does rolled roofing. I don't know about big commercial, but he did some rolled roofing for us and he does all of our metal. So
Okay,
I know he has a metal forming machine. He actually forms it in place.
okay.
So Ken Hollow Siding, Bruce Morrissey.
All right, thank you. The rate increase. Barbara and I have not had an opportunity to talk. She's been busy and we both have, and we've got to look into, for some reason, it keeps gnawing at me that when we changed the ordinances out of the regulations, seems for some reason that if we put in a modest increase that we would not have to go to the town for it. But we need to find out. I tried to look through the regulations today and could not find it. I mean, obviously I didn't do it early this morning. I just did it a little bit ago, but she and I have to look into it to see, what's happening there. So that is in the works. I just want, I just said if we could put, we haven't had a rate increase in a very long time, and if we could just put in something even small, that would, cover the, the increases that we've been absorbing right now, that would definitely be ideal, but we've got to sort of flesh it out a little bit more before we go there. Next is Club Getaway. I know I talked to David, and they are probably shooting for the end of the year to come onto the sewer system. So they've gotten approvals, they've gotten their permits. He's working on getting those in order, and he's dealing with the drawings to come back to the sewer commission with. So by the time that all happens, he's probably looking at December to make that to at least get that project started, which would be ideal. And they can work on it during the winter time, which would be good. Lyle, you want to go with your report?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. 1.9 million gallons total flowed through the plant. It's a 65,000 gallon per day average. 490,000 of those gallons came from Kent School. Our average VOD removal rate is at 99%, and total suspended solids removal rate is at 98%. Currently have 1 bed in use. 3 are ready for use, but actually they have a little bit of water in them from all this rain. So, but they are clean and ready for use. Flow meter calibration was completed by NAP Engineering. We did our quarterly testing, and I had on the maintenance to talk about the maintenance building roof, which I already did. So I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Barbara.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Can everybody see it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so I was able to get these reports out before the weekend, so everybody hopefully had a chance to look at them. These are preliminary year-end reports. There's still a couple of modifications that will happen. The Maple Street Extension user fees that are 80% turned over to the town. I got that information from Debbie late on Friday. So these reports were calculated or presented before I had that information. I also have to calculate the year-end depreciation. And there may be a few small bills that come in from like Ace Hardware or somewhere that have to get put back into last year. But for all intents and purposes, this is pretty much what it's going to look like for the year end. As you can see, we actually exceeded our budgeted revenue, but that was not from the septage fees, that was from the sewer use charges. So that put us in very good shape. Most of the operating expenses tracked right on target to what they were budgeted, with the exception of electricity, as we had discussed earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And I forget now what's in miscellaneous. I do these so far in advance and then I forget what's in there. The extra sand, we had talked about that before. Payroll expenses are a little less than was budgeted because of the staffing turnover. Postage was more than what was budgeted. That's mostly the lab reports that get FedExed back and forth. That's what that is. But the good news is we were able to put $28,000 into the capital reserve between short-term and long-term capital reserve, and we still ended the year at a profit. So
That's
good shape.
Yep.
Very nice. Well done.
The second report is the balance sheet, and it shows 6/30 of this calendar year versus 6/30 of the last calendar year and the change. And you can see there's been a little bit of fluctuation in our operating and our septage account, but the capital account's up that $28,000 that we actually put in there from the operating account. So this is where it's showing that the septage didn't meet its budgeted amount. It has gone down a little bit.
0.7%.
There you go. The amount that has been paid back to the town on the belt press is looking good. We another 53,000 this year over last year, so that's great. These amounts here, the difference between these three loans, this is just the principal portion of the payment. The interest goes to the expense, but the principal portion goes to the balance sheet. So if you add back in the $28,000 that we actually kept, because it's not an expense, even though we transferred it to capital, we actually ended the year at a $58,000 profit. And then the third report that I have is just the disbursement ledger, just for the month of June. And there wasn't anything that was a real outlier in there. Everything else went pretty much according to plan. This permit is the annual permit fee that we have to pay DEEP in order to operate. So that's the once a year.
Oh,
Then this
well-
25,000, oh, I'm sorry, what?
No, keep going. Sorry.
This 25,000 is 2 or 3 different things that we actually had to pay the town back for. The audit and the health insurances, and then the little bit of balance to make up the total 50 on the belt press. And that's pretty much it.
Right. May I get a motion to approve the disbursement sheet then?
So moved.
Thanks, Kathy. Second.
Second.
Thanks, Ricky. And all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I don't see a Debbie on here. And I'm not seeing a Bart. So does anybody have anything that they want to add in? Peter, we will look into getting that changed for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. No problem. Anybody else have any public comments or anything? All right, then meeting is adjourned at 4:48. Thank you.
Sure.
See you
Thank
next month. Thank you, guys.
Right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.